This is the SR2 from Fed Fitness. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Fed who? It's budget, right? It's gotta have issues somewhere, and honestly, that's what we thought too. But something's been happening in this space. Value price brands are evolving, and we keep seeing them bringing legitimately higher quality gear to the market. Is this Fed's step in that direction? That's what we spent the past few weeks testing. Does it actually do everything they say it does? Can this squat rack replace a traditional 4-post rack? And can 2 uprights handle everything you just watch us hang off them? Let's go find out. So Fed always lived in the very budget lane, value pricing, home equipment. Except this year they paid to become the official partner of the Houston Rockets. Sponsorships are bought, not earned. The Rockets took their money. But budget brands don't spend NBA money unless they're trying to become something else. And this rack is something else. All in one is the pitch, squats, bench, pull-ups, and then the stuff a bare rack can't touch, hip thrusts, preacher curls, back extensions.
So let's be clear about what this is though. It's a squat rack first, a real one. Everything else stacks on top of that. It's built for home gym space, about a 5-foot square of floor, just over 7 feet tall, around $700, and it comes with the pieces you'd normally keep buying later.
Quick note on the build. Built it myself, no real drama, though a couple of the bolts are super annoying to reach. And the packaging, A+. Every part was bubble wrapped. The sharp points were wrapped in cardboard over the bubble wrap. Not a scratch anywhere on this thing, which is the first time a value brand has actually impressed me before I even built the product. Now that's it. That's the build section. These feet down here are way more interesting. Fed calls it their 6-point stability system. And for once, the name is actually built on engineering, not marketing that we're gonna pick on them for. Most 2-post racks touch the floor at 4 points. This base tends to be a little bit wider, longer, and touches down at 6 points. Now, the 6th point is a clever one. It acts like a raised foot sitting over the actual bottom foot, and it looks like a mistake until you put a loaded bar on it. That raised starting point for deadlifts makes plate swaps in seconds. It's not a true jack that you lift the bar onto, and it doesn't come back down from here. But once it's up, loading is the easiest it's ever been on a 2-post. And when Perrin and I set up for hip thrust, the bar rolls right up and over us, and that's what you need when you're doing a good hip thrust. Somebody designed this the right way.
The hip thrust setup felt sturdy the whole time. I kept the back pad locked stationary instead of rotating, and I love that the lower feet basically act as the rack spotter. So you can come right off the ground. My one gripe, it needs a bit more adjustability downward, lower to the floor. I had to hoist myself up into getting into position on the pad, and that's only going to get more challenging as the weight gets heavier.
So feeling stable is one thing. Training on it is where the actual test begins. Everything you're seeing is real working weight. It might be a little on the lighter side, but they're not warm-ups. And they're definitely not maxes. We're not gonna pretend we tested an 1,100 pound rating in 2 weeks. Anyone who tells you they did is probably just guessing a little bit. So while we're being honest, the steel 13 gauge, it's not 11 gauge. Most heavy duty racks are built on that, but this is how they got down to $700. Now years of truly heavy lifting will start to show its burden on 13 gauge. The walls of the attachment holes can wear and loosen faster than 11 would. That's just thinner steel meeting heavy weight dynamically for years. But if you go heavy when you're PRing and you live in the moderate to heavy range, you're gonna get a ton of use out of this thing. Now this is the part I doubted. I've got a rule about 2-post racks, and the rule is you don't ask them to do too much. Now, weeks in, this hasn't flinched.
So we trade this rack back and forth every session. And what I really like about it is it's a very simple 2-post rack, and it's really simple to change from his height to my height and back and forth.
So one of the easiest things to notice where you start feeling the stability is this pull-up bar. And it took both of us. Strip reps, across the multi-grip handles, there's not a lot of wobble. One complaint though, and I'm saving it because first you need to see what's in the box.
So Fed says 20 attachments come with this rack, but let's do the math honestly. 6 of those are the band pegs. 2 are J-cups, and honestly, every squat rack on earth comes with J-cups, right? Spotter arms, same story. The stuff you don't normally get, the pull-up bar, the hip thrust module, the preacher pad, and the extended base, we'll call those a handful. But the handful that you do get is good enough that I even stopped counting or caring about the math. These feel intentional and designed, not just bundled. The preacher setup is the best example of that. Thick UHMW everywhere the steel touches. Everything snug, no rattle, no slop.
So a lot of these attachments, especially the J-cups, feel like they came off a rack twice this price.
The back extension is the one Fed's own manual won't even show you. Their materials mention it, their usage guide skips it. So here's the setup we worked out. Honestly, the best part is how versatile this thing is while staying minimalist.
Now, if I'm nitpicking, which is what I'm known for, it's the comfort. The padding could be more premium. And at this price, pads are where I expect savings to hide. What surprised us is where they didn't. 2 things you need to understand before buying though. Number 1, the front of these uprights are standard 3x3 with 1-inch holes. So a lot of the industry's front mount gear speaks this rack's language. The sides are not. We measured, call it a 10mm hole. So here's the rule for this rack. Any 1-inch attachment you own works here as long as it loads from the front. Anything that needs to use the sides, it ain't happening. Fed's push pins and preacher system are built around those side holes, and they actually work great. But here's my honest wish. People love their own stuff. They love buying attachments. It's half the fun of owning a rack. Fed designed this rack around their attachment ecosystem, and I wish they designed their attachments around the universal standard instead. It would have opened up the entire aftermarket.
So number 2 is the J-cups. Snug, zero play, easy to move between our heights. But the cup height's too short. Set them where you would on any other rack, and a lot of re-racks land the bar above the cup on the rack itself, and then it drops down in. Run your cups a notch or 2 higher than normal, and it's solved, which is basically what we've been doing for weeks.
And that one honestly hurts because these are the first budget J-cups that didn't scare the living crap out of me. You just shouldn't have to think about your cup height. And on this rack, you unfortunately do. You know, all of it, the bolt size, the padding, these 2 issues, we sent them to Fed weeks ago. Now here's where the front holes actually pay off.
None of this comes in the box, and Fed doesn't claim it does. It's our gear. The cables and the lever arms mount to those standard front holes and just work. I've done loaded flies off these 2 uprights with zero fear of anything moving.
The Smith is on here for one reason, to show you what this rack could have been with 1-inch holes all the way around. It mounts, it runs, but its lockout and safeties want mag pins going sideways into universal holes, and those aren't here. So no, I wouldn't pair these 2. Front latching gear is the rack's lane, which is why we're keeping this, because we've got Bulletproof's new stuff coming and it's gonna be on this rack. Now we have reviewed all 3 of these things that are on this rack. The links are gonna be below. Now 2 uprights, can they handle all of this? Yeah, they sure did. So here's where we actually land. $700 at launch. It's gonna be $799 after. There will be sales throughout the year, I'm sure. It's a legitimately stable 2-post. Attachments that matter, that are feeling designed instead of bundled, and a raised foot you're gonna use every single session, and a standard front that plays nice with a lot of the front mount gear you already own or you're going to own. Now, Can it replace a traditional 4-post rack? For the buyer we described, limited space, limited budget, wanting more than a bare rack, yes. And it does things most 4-posts don't do straight out of the box.
Now, if you're chasing max load powerlifting numbers, or if you need and want a lot of side mount attachments, this isn't your rack. And that's fine. It wasn't actually built for you.
Is this Fed's step in the right direction? Yeah, we think it is. The compromises are real. We told Fed directly, and none of it changed what we're doing with this unit.
Which is the actual verdict, right? This one's staying in the Swole Studio for us to continue to use.
We've got stuff coming from Bulletproof, and it's going to be reviewed on this rack. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. All the pertinent info is going to be in the description and the pinned comment below. Till next time, catch y'all later.